This is just science. A disease.
Those people are scared. And they need something to blame for that fear, and it's you. Because you are different.
How you doing, Connor? Thank you for joining me this morning.
Yes, thank you so much for having an interest in the film and for having me on.
Oh, I loved it, man.
I liked your little icon, the no hate. That's good.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good message to put out in the world. And your background, obviously, here with the fire.
Had to do it upright for you this morning. Had to do it upright. So,
Thank
well,
you.
congratulations on In the Fire. It's really an interesting film, a paranormal thriller set in the 1890s. What kind of woman is Grace Burnham?
So, well, she's fearless. To be a female doctor at that time required great courage and independence just by itself, and moreover, to be what was called an alienist, or what we would call now a psychologist, at a time when psychology was in its infancy and was not a respected science. Just to go into that field would have taken a lot of courage. So we know that about her right away.
Well, she's a pioneer, to be a doctor in Victorian times. She's a one of a kind. No one trusts her, right? No one trusts science at the time.
Immediately, yeah, she's an exile from most communities.
Yeah, but she has to trust herself, doesn't she?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, when no one else, will give you a chance, you still have to believe in yourself.
Absolutely. And this is really a film about, it's a war between science and religion, isn't it? I mean, it's front and center.
Definitely. Yeah. And, we also didn't want to take sides. I think it's easy to quickly just say, well, science is that those are facts, and just brush aside all of religion. So we tried to take a more, ambiguous approach where I think Amber's character as the scientist, she learns that there's a little more, she comes to this remote place thinking that she can treat everything, that she can diagnose things with her medicine and her science. And she learns that there's a little more going on than just what, her books can explain. And same thing on the religion side, the zealot priest, who is very much the antagonist of this film. He's not in the right necessarily either.
Well, it seems like the religion will not have any kind of open mind, but she doubts herself too. She's a woman of science, but also she's not be able to explain what's going on in the movie either. So I found it interesting that she could have maybe some doubt, but the church doesn't.
Yes, they're yeah. The priest is more once he's chosen a path.
Right.
I think whenever you do a period movie, I think you want it to have great relevance to our world today, and I do find that we are all so quick to speak in absolutes. My side is right, and thus your side is wrong. And also, because you're wrong, you're evil, you're horrible, you have no idea. There's no gray area anymore. And so we wanted to build a movie that was in the gray area. I certainly have a great love for other films of demonic possession, The Exorcist and The Omen, but those films are very clear. The devil is in the kid. We gotta take out the devil. And I think real life is usually more ambiguous. And so we want a situation where this doctor comes in and am I treating this kid? Does he just have some sort of mental illness? Or did I just see something that sort of has a practical explanation, but also it seems like something really that I can't explain just happened? How do I deal with that?
Also, it's centered around his Lorenzo's performance. And how did you get those out of him? Because there were times, man, that he really was off the rails.
This little boy is so. I mean, I wish I could take all the credit as a director, a teeny bit, but the truth is, casting cast a really, really good actor, and they'll do a really good job. We, to the credit of one of our producers, this Italian producer Silvio Miraglia, he had worked with Lorenzo on another film previous to this. And when we started on this movie, he said, "Oh, you got to meet Lorenzo. He's amazing." And I said, "Sure, I'd love to meet him, but we're going to need a cast. We're going to need to audition like 1,000 kids for this." And so we auditioned to jillion little kids, and Lorenzo just crushed them. I mean, they were playing checkers and he was playing chess. And he speaks 3 languages: Italian, English, and German. He also learned Spanish for this movie. He also speaks Latin. He's a brilliant little boy playing a savant. And the only sad thing was that in real life, he has this beautiful, beautiful long bushy hair and big, beautiful smile. And in the film, I was like, told his mom, I was like, first of all, we're gonna have to cut his hair, and he's gonna have to look like he cut it himself, and he's gonna wear these contact lenses that make him look just
Demonic.
yes. Demonic, and he's never allowed to smile.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, he was chilling. I'll tell you that. He was chilling. So, and this is Amber Heard's big return to Hollywood, and her performance is so complex in this movie. At moments, it's full of romance. At other times, it's terror. I mean, she really has a range. Did she surprise you in her performance?
Yeah. I mean, I knew she was a good actor, and I knew that she was right for the role. So I was ever lacking in any confidence. But as a director, right away, you could put the camera on her and just be wowed. And one of the things that I love in the business is when you write something on the page, you have this vision in your head of how it's going to be, and then an actor like Amber takes that and just runs with it and gives you back so much more than you thought. Finds these little things that are just awesome, and also takes the big stuff. The arc of starting as this sort of unemotional, icy doctor, and then becoming sort of maternal with this kid and having this intimate relationship with him, and just seeing that blossom. You can
Defender.
tell it's going to work, on the set, and that makes me feel pretty confident.
Also, what I enjoyed about the movie is I love period pieces, especially Victorian pieces. Where did you shoot the movie? Because I was just so fascinated by all the locations and barns and old churches. It was just such an amazing set.
Yeah, we were blessed. So we shot half of the film in southern Italy, in the region of Puglia.
Tough job, huh?
Yeah, it's a bummer. We were they have these old fortified farmhouses, and we shot in one from the 1500s. They're unused anymore, but it's basically like a little castle. And as homes of that period it had an orchard. It had its own little church, within the compound itself, and then of course had barns and stables and all kinds of really interesting stuff for us to use. And then we shot the other half of the movie in Guatemala, in the old colonial capital of Antigua, which is this fabulous old city up in the mountains, in the shadows of 3 volcanoes, of which 2 of them were active through our production. So to be doing a movie about the supernatural or the explanation of the supernatural while nature's greatest forces were acting upon us was pretty exciting.
So that wasn't stock footage, all that plume that was coming up?
And it was not in the script. So I had no intention of having a volcano in the script. I just, and we were already halfway through shooting the movie, and we got there and there's volcanoes just exploding in the background. I was like, well,
turn the cameras.
Probably shoot that. I know we could just add the smoke and VFX, but that's as real as it gets, right?
It gave it a real Samuel Z. Arkoff feel to it, And what I like to ask finally today, what I like to ask of actors, and since I have the luxury of that right now, I can ask you, as a director, is it important for your cast for a period film like this, when they get the costumes on, when they get in that setting, that their characters really come out, because they're nowhere near their real lives at all? You know what I mean? So they're
I think that's a really cool part of period movies, is that actors get to put on this armor of their character. And especially with the Victorian era, like for someone like Amber's character, she's got these big, beautiful, flowing dresses, and they're wildly uncomfortable, and there's these corsets that you can't breathe in, but you put all that on, and you're her, and you can kind of just allow yourself to fall into that. The downside, of course, is that it's wildly uncomfortable, and it's like 100 degrees in tropical Guatemala, and she's got dresses up to here, and
they suffer for their craft.
Yeah, exactly. Suffer for the craft.
Well, Conor, congratulations. I enjoyed it immensely. I enjoy our conversation today, and let's do it again soon. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jeffrey.